Alright, what is up guys? I have a bleeding edge video for you today. This one's actually on CAS because I have been playing CAS a bunch. So I thought I'd give, or at least all the knowledge that I collected, pass that on to other CAS players that are kind of struggling and feel that she's really easy to kill because of her low health bar, or maybe they're just having trouble maneuvering around the map or how to properly position her in a team fight or something like that. So the big strengths, because this is an advanced tip trick tutorial, I'm not going to be telling you how to auto attack, switch targets, what her abilities do or anything like that, so I assume that you know that. But the first bit of tips, and I'll get into the mods in a second, I want to explain the mods because what I'm about to show you is actually very relevant to the mods that I choose. So the first tip that I have for you is being able to attack, auto attack, and jump at the same time. So as surprising as that might seem, I play a lot of games, and when I see Casses, they're just standing there without their auto, without their jump being charged, which is very surprising. Because if you get hit, you have to then wait for your jump to charge and then get away. And if you get hit stunned, you have to literally, you won't be able to charge your jump at all, especially when you have like two other people trying to auto you, like maybe a Damien or a Bastardo, Nidhogger. It makes it really hard. So the way you should be doing it, and I do play on the Xbox controller and I have played on the mouse and keyboard, but what I find more easy for me is just on a controller because I'm pretty used to it. But on the keyboard, it's going to be spacebar and your left mouse button. That's pretty simple. I'm just starting off simple right now, so just remember, get used to it. It's something that's a little difficult, and for me on the controller, like I said, I press both buttons at once, and this is how I kind of do it. I'm used to this. It's a very awkward position. I'm sure if you guys have like SCUF controllers, you guys are able to do this more easily with the paddles on the back, but for me, I always do the claw thing, so it's literally it's no issue for me. So that's why I also put the controller image at the bottom of the video, that way you guys can see what buttons I'm pressing exactly. So the next big tip, and this is huge, this is a game changer, literal game changer. So as you guys know, when you jump and swoop, you get a little bit extra distance, right? Or at least you hope so. Maybe you even don't. But what I do is I jump, swoop, and then auto attack, giving you a little bit more distance, actually a lot of bit more distance. So you'd be running, right? And then you jump, swoop, auto attack. As you can tell, I got a lot more distance. Instead of jump, swoop, and then come straight back down like a rock, and then start my movement. I hold my momentum going through, and I'm able to keep up with the people that are running away from me. So for example, if Damien was way over there, I'd catch up to him, I'd jump, swoop, and then continue my auto attacking, and then jump, swoop. As you can see, that kind of blends in with the whole auto attacking, attacking while holding your jump. So you'd be like attacking, holding your jump, swoop, auto, and you just keeping the movement always available, always ready. And keep in mind, what is huge here, is that you can actually combo your both swoops and your high tail. So your high tail would be like a super jump, your initial super jump would be one, and then you have your other two swoops. So it would be like jump, swoop, auto, and then high tail, swoop, auto. So you can cover a lot of distance if you position your high tail properly. If I want to go forward, and that's how I would do it. You just want to position, like if I want to go around the corner here, I jump, high tail, come the other way, and it would be something like that. So it's just kind of practicing that movement, practicing how to do that. And big thing, thankfully they have the dojo, so you can kind of get a little bit of more practice in before you actually have to play and start throwing games for your team. But definitely recommend coming to the dojo, practicing that movement. And the third thing, the last thing, this is also really big. It might not seem like it, but it's really big. So as you guys know, you might think the rage ability kind of sucks. Like what's the difference? It doesn't seem like it does too much damage, or at least it doesn't seem like it's any different than any other auto attack that these melee characters have. However, if you hold jump while doing it, you actually combo the first part of it. What is that? Why is that important? Well, first off, the first big deal is that when you knock them back, people get a free evade, so they are able to do a wake up jump back like a Buttercup does, or just roll away from it after, even if they don't have any stamina bar left. If you knock them down on their back, they're able to use an evade charge for free. So when we do that, we avoid that possibility. They're not being knocked down, they're taking damage, meaning they have to parry or they have to do an evade charge. And if they have none, well then they have to wait for that to recharge or again do the parry. So as of right now, there's not a lot of players that do the parry. So I'm just able to essentially stun lock someone, and I can't tell you how many times I've done this, but literally I'm just auto attacking them to death and they're just watching me die and they can't get away. You just, like for example, you would just count the evade charges. For example, Gizmo I believe only has 2 evades, so once you see her dodge once, dodge a second time, you just auto attack her like that, and there's nothing they can do about it. So now the trick is to use all these little tips that I gave you guys in tandem. So evade charging into I did that wrong, I apologize. Evade charging and then just auto attacking someone while making sure your camera posture is proper, keeping locked on. So everything is blending together. That way you can pretty much finish off your targets, move around the map without getting killed, and able to use CAS to its fullest and really be a top contender in terms of like all the games you get into. People might start recognizing you, like, hey, that guy's like really good with that character. You kind of have to watch out. So if you want to get to that point, you definitely have to master that ability. So I hope this helps. Now I'm moving on to the mod section, but this was like the biggest part, at least the biggest things that I found on CAS for the first, I believe I played it for like 20 hours so far on CAS. So I hope this helped. Now onto the mod section. So let's go to the main menu here, and for the mods I kind of use it based on how I play, because I'm swooping a lot. Before I explain it, let's actually go into that. Let's see. Because I'm swooping a lot, I use increased swoop distance. That way I can swoop even farther. When I'm doing those the long jumps, as I like to call them, this gives me a little bit more distance, as well as if I want to swoop onto a target, like directly on, like if I'm targeted on them and I swoop onto them, it definitely does help. Like I can't tell you, this really actually does help. You see a difference. And then Bloodlust, because I'm always swooping, and I'm swooping towards a target or maybe running away. There's plenty of moments when I just swoop that I get that Bloodlust effect and I'm able to finish someone down because I do have that 10% extra damage. Or maybe I swoop and then as I'm flying across the map, I can activate my ultimate, which leads me to Blade Dance damage. That's just me. That's kind of, for me, the last 2, Rush and Bloodlust, are kind of a must. But Deadly Dance, I feel like you can replace that. Then I replace that with the jump charge, because there's a lot of moments as I'm getting chased down, melee people are trying to get in range of me. It helps me get that timing down. That way I can just boom, I can get out of there real quick. And 30% might not seem like a lot, but if that's like half a second, that's half a second that they have to be quicker to get on me, and that's definitely noticeable. So I appreciate you guys sticking through this whole video, and I hope I can bring some more bleeding edge videos to you guys. And other than that, you can find me on the Twitch. I believe the link will be in the description. Other than that, have a nice day, and I'll see you guys on the next one.